For this edition of the Sfg Top Performance Podcast. Today we're going to talk about grain and feed. I've got Scott and Mike with me. We'll kick off on the grain side, and we talk about the dog days of summer. I think we're there, maybe just a little early this time. We still got August weather to contend with, along with another week of July. But we've seen a lot of heat. Some of that was good for the crop, helped us catch up. Most of the corn went in two and a half weeks late this time, and I'd say we're getting close to being caught up on that aspect with the majority of it. There's still some down the southern reaches of our territory that went in really late, and still got a lot of growing to do yet. So the weather from here on out will have a big impact. We've been seeing lower grain values on the board here the last couple of weeks. Several reasons. Weather's number one. The forecast just keeps bumping around day to day almost. It changes, and right now it's predicting the 6 to 11 day forecast is a little cooler and a little wetter in places. And of course, if you get the rain, great deal. If you don't, not so good. And we hope we don't turn into be the area that does not get that. Traders have been somewhat nervous about their large long positions. They've had some of them for quite some time now. So we've seen a sort of a mass exodus out of the market. They've taken their money, went home. Not sure what they're doing with it because, right now there's not a lot of opportunities out there for making more money on your money. In the long run, that's not all bad. Since we've reduced the corn down to about 125,000 on the long side. We were probably closer to 300 not too long ago. So that gives us plenty of room once we get a spark, and that could be by weather or a lot of export news. Several things could happen that might start this market back up, and the traders will come back to us. The Ukraine war, that's been bullish to commodity markets since February when it began. But recently it's wore a little thin, and this past week, there's been some solid talk that they're going to open up the Black Sea ports. And they've got agreement from Russia, Ukraine, Turkey, and the UN. And they're going to do it without making the U.S. relax our sanctions, or the U.K., either one, the EU. So that's a little negative, especially on the wheat. And of course, wheat will help dictate where the corn market goes. But they primarily will export wheat first because that's a food source for a lot of people in the world. But they've got corn that can go out of there too. So yet to be seen how that all takes place and whether Russia will hold true to what they're thinking. Our corn continues to be a little higher than South America, so they're picking up the export business today. Rumor has it that China is looking to buy a lot of corn. They don't like to buy from us, but typically if they want large quantities of quality corn, they end up coming to us at some point, so hopefully that'll happen. Livestock numbers are down. I think Mike and Scott can contest to that, and right now, especially the hog numbers, our slaughter rates have gone from about 485, 90,000 a day down to 450, 460. So that's that many less hogs we're feeding every day, and that takes less corn. So that's a negative number, and probably doesn't look to correct itself in the near term. The USDA left their March yield projections alone in the July report. We have a late planted crop that has suffered at least some stress in many areas. World bean stocks remain tight. Even no matter how you play the numbers, they're on the tight side. So all this means that there could be a rally here somewhere. And, I'm not saying we've put in the lows because we're lower again this morning, but at some point, end users will pick up the pace of buying. Old crop values remain strong. Basis levels are very good. The USDA says we have ample corn on carryout to make it through to harvest. But out in the country, it doesn't feel that way. It's getting harder and harder to buy corn right now. There is corn out there, but I think it's in tight hands, and guys are just not willing to let it loose yet. So that'll play out here in the next 6 weeks before we get into early harvest. Oil production continues to lag worldwide. President Biden thought he could get the Arabian countries to perk up their production, but it appears that they're pumping oil as fast as they can, and why wouldn't they be with the cost of it? They're making good money. The problem's probably in this country. We've stifled the production here. It's not likely to start right back up unless they've got better assurances that they'll be able to continue to go after that oil without government intervention. Farmers are asking about input prices for this coming year's crop. Everybody's concerned, worried, curious, however you want to word it. It appears fertilizer prices will relax a little bit, but we're still going to be way higher than we were a year ago this time. So it's going to take a lot of money to put in next year's crop. Chemical prices, they're kind of a crapshoot right now. Raw material is becoming more available, but that doesn't mean that the price will come down. They've conditioned us to pay more for the primary chemicals. We're talking Roundup, Liberty, atrazine, things like that, 2,4-Ds, and so it'll be hard to say what happens there. Seed, we know, will be higher. The seed companies missed the opportunity last year to sell higher priced seed. That had already been priced before the inflation kicked in, so no doubt we'll be paying a higher seed bill. So looking toward fall and new crop pricing, I think we will continue to see large volatility, almost daily, definitely weekly and probably daily in the markets. And quiet days are few and far between anymore. It used to be a move of 2 to 5 cents was a big deal. Well, that's a small deal anymore. You kind of got to keep your eye on things. So we need to keep looking for that sweet spot. The end users are doing that. We're going to have to do the same thing. Kind of set your sights on where you need to be to make some sales, and when it gets there, take advantage of it. So in the end, we just got to keep our eyes and ears open to the whole world atmosphere here in these markets. Well, this time I'm going to turn it over to Scott and Mike, and they're going to talk about the Sfg Feed Business.
All right, thanks, Mark. Well, it's fair season again. I've been to a couple fairs and walked around and looked at livestock. I can't help but notice the overall quality in the livestock the kids have produced this year. I think that shows the hard work, dedication, and care these kids have put into their projects. This experience will give them a knowledge that will be with them for the rest of their life, whether they stay in agriculture or venture off into a different career when they graduate. They will always know the hard work, dedication, and care that goes into supplying food to our nation. We at SFG want to wish everyone good luck with their projects at the fair this year. Usually one thing you can count on at fair time is hot weather, dry weather. This year is no exception. I have a few producers around Milo that start feeding some hay already because their pastures are going away. Now is the time to be watching the condition on our cows. Nutrition levels in the grass are going down while nutrition requirements in the cow are going up. Some ideas for supplementing your cows are tubs, cubes, and creep. Contact Mike or myself. We will be more than happy to go over some options with you and help you choose what will work best in your operation. Some updates on the grain facilities at Milo. The upstairs drag has been extended out the south end of the wood elevator, and it's nearly complete. All of the concrete for the new pit is finished, and they're nearly finished welding the deck on it. The structure for the loadout tanks is completed. They just need a calm day to get the tanks set up there and bolted down. They're hoping the legs and drags will be here by the 1st of August, so right now everything is on schedule. If you're in the area, stop by and check it out. We're definitely changing the skyline of Milo. That's about all I got. Mike, what you got?
Okay, appreciate that. Just going to remind you guys, it's time to be feeding creep feed to calves. Our pastures are short. Mama needs help. So let's get the creep feed ordered. We got Hubbard or Kent's Complete Pelleted Creep. And just as a reminder, on the Complete Pelleted Creep, it's a locked-in formula. and it's not a least cost formula, so this is why you can get a 5-to-1 feed conversion versus some of the other products on the market. So it pays to creep feed for different reasons. If it costs you 82 cents at a 5-to-1 conversion to put on a pound of gain and calves are worth $1.90, that's kind of a no-brainer. It takes a lot of pressure off of mama because she's short of feed anyway, and she's trying to milk, and she's already working on developing that new calf for the next calving season. Just a reminder, we rent creep feeders at $2.50 a day, so call us, we'll get them to you. Listened to a guy last week. I was at a beef focus meeting, and he was kind of amplifying what we've been hearing, that there's not the supply of cattle right now, fats to go, and he says it probably is going to be even worse by next spring, and that's why we're seeing the next April futures at 153 on the board. But he's saying that his opinion is because we're short of cattle, and we are short of feeder cattle, he's saying that feeder cattle are going to stay high to buy, but he's looking at $5.50 corn to feed these cattle that you're buying, and that when you actually sell these fats next spring, you're going to get $155 plus for the fats because we're short of cattle. So the only concern I got, I hope that's correct, the only concern I got is depends on what the price of gas is and other for the average consumer. If we get $155 for fats, I'm happy for you, but is that going to be that finished product going to the consumers? They're going to start backing off on purchasing beef. I don't know how that'll happen. So you got an opportunity to put extra weight on these calves and making money and helping mama get through this hard time. So a lot of guys are worried about having enough hay. Their pastures are short. They're starting to feed hay already. So just get protein tubs from us and put them out there and help mama through that. And so you have enough hay to get you through the winter season. So as always, we appreciate your business, and we're as close as a phone call. So call us. We're just here to help you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We're moving a massive amount of grain right now. We did have a near record crop last year in our area, and so we've got all of our trucks hauling grain now that the spray season is winding down. So you'll see a lot of our trucks on the road every day making room for this coming crop, which today looks to be another very good crop if the weather cooperates. The last thing I want to throw out, we're fortunate in our company or our trade area. We've got 2 schools going to buy tonight. We're taping this on a Friday morning. They're going to play tonight in Fort Dodge girls softball. That'd be Southeast Warren and Twin Cedars. So it's kind of neat to have 2 teams within our trade territory that are going to fight it out for the state championship. By the time you hear this, you're probably going to know who won. But great parents, great kids, great coaches, both schools. So they deserve all the accolades that they get. Well, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you in a couple weeks.